What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Verbal Garbage coming at you hot and live. One of the favorite things of this podcast is coming back off a hiatus, and here we are again. Been a few weeks since I've recorded, probably a little bit before Thanksgiving. Trying to get on here this week. It's been a little tricky. A couple things fighting around, but finally got back on here. Just wanted to come back and do some recap, cover some stories, talk about a couple trends and things I've seen lately, and get you guys out of here. A little early December episode. One thing I want to bring up real quick is we got a random listener that was tuning into an episode. One of my quasi customers, if you'll call him that, at work. He's not someone that's on there every week, but he selectively browses, and when he comes around, he really makes his presence felt. And Mr. Martinez, it's a true honor to have your viewership. He's an audio and a video wizard, guys. So we're about to Verbal Garbage is gonna come into some much needed expenses, but we're finally gonna upgrade and get this thing a little bit more serious and a little bit more audio and visually pleasing, if you will. So we're scheduled to meet up hopefully this weekend, and he'll come over and give me a list of what I want. Ideally, I've told you guys right here, I'd be able to plug this into my computer. My computer into my TV, and then play the YouTube videos on the TV, so I can kind of like do a share screen. It's a lot. I'm overwhelmed. That's why this is just a fun passion project. We just chip away at over time, and it's a slow burn. It's a slow build, but I'm pretty confident that the final destination is going to be worth it. Much like life, it's just a journey. Right now, I'm just waking up every day. I'm trying to be as thankful as I can for everyone around me, and just live the best of my ability and do the best I can to treat people well and take care of people. And as you get older, you really put a value on family and friends, and keeping a tight knit circle, and keeping it close. Christmas time is coming up, and I really remember the days when I would just be such a little schmuck, and all I wanted to do was get, and I never wanted to give, and I would just think about how much money I got to spend on people. And I've turned a new leaf, guys. What can I say? I think it kind of started with, last year I gave some good gifts for sure, but this year, like a couple weeks last week, I was decorating the work truck with some lights and some little trinkets here and there, and some themed decorations, and setting up the tools in a red and green display to try to get jolly, and was listening to music. So we're in the full spirit. The Black Friday is certainly an event. Growing up, it was a thing you just hear about and you'd see on the news, of just people wanting new TVs and fighting over them and going to war. And now it's just you sit back, you got a football game on at 3 o'clock, so you can shop while you're watching football. Can you think of a better combination? I was eating smoked food, I was smoked out, obviously, I was shopping, and I was watching football. If you can find a better afternoon for me, you can let me know, but I pretty confident in my choice there, guys. Had a nice little training session of jiu-jitsu that day, where I've been such a slug, and I'm not involved in any memberships at the moment. I'm just popping in at Vickery MMA and jiu-jitsu, and just trying to get as many rolls as I can in, but it's like a bi-monthly basis at this point. So the Peloton's great, guys, but there's only so much you can do to really be in that peak physical form. And yeah, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, your boy was humming, but it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. And we're slowly creeping back there. So the Black Friday sales, we obviously I can't really say much because we'll spoil the gifts here, but other than family, I've been dropping some rubber bands on work customers, because my job, is, most of you know, is a commission-based job. So people got to buy, and that's how I get paid, and people got to pay me, and that's how I get paid. So developed a tiered list, if you will, a tiered list, and I've got several tiers that I'm going to cater to. You got your tier 1, your tier 2, your tier 3. So all week I've been making notes while I'm seeing people other than my, my work notes. I'm making personal notes about, he's a tier one. Today I was like, a guy was right on the fence about buying an item because he's been flaking over the last couple weeks about buying a couple things. And I was like telling the one guy next to him, I was like, yeah, brother, it's a beautiful life being a tier three. And they were like, what's a tier three? And I was like, oh, well, I have tiers of clients, right? And I explained it. And then I like went up to the one guy who's been kind of backing up lately. And I was like, and you're fucking tier one. You're so fucking. Some of these guys, as you know, are like mechanics and they're like big, tough, macho man. And I have this like thing with my humor where I touch people a lot, but I like getting close in their face in a fucking joking manner, obviously. And, so I was telling him, I was like, you're so fucking close. And he was cool about it, no problems. But earlier in the day, I had another guy who was like joking around and he's always cursing me out, just being a dick, but that's his humor. I get it. It's taken me like 2 years to get it, but I finally got a grasp on it now. And, there's just like when I used to bartend, there's just people that thrive off of being treated like shit and they enjoy that kind of banter. I'm the complete opposite. I like treating everyone like they're my brother or my dad and just loving them and being cool, making jokes, taking care of them. But yeah, some people don't want that. So he did that. And then I like got in his face and started pointing at him, cursing. And he's like, what the fuck you trying to do? And I was like, oh, bro, I hope you packed the lunch. And then everyone, giggled and I kind of settled it. But for a second there, we had a little bit of smoke, I think. Not me. I was all fun and love when he's doing it, but I think he just didn't react well with me getting in his face. But you can get mine, but I can't get back in yours. It's this double standard we live in, guys. We're living with people. They'll come on my truck talking shit about the price of tools. Like yesterday, I had a guy and I've told these stories before, but they're all fresh and they're all real. And this guy's coming on here bragging about his Craftsman and his Harbor Freight stuff, and you know, a couple comments, you just sit there and you just bite your tongue and you let it slide, but it continues to progress, and I'm just like, okay. And then you got three or four other guys in the truck. One other two of them are developed customers, but the other two is what I like to call prospects, where they're on the fence. They've thrown a couple bucks at me here and there, but they're feeling the tool guy out. They come in the truck, they hang out with you, they see how you are, and bro, I'm gonna win anybody over. Like anybody comes in that truck, they're gonna buy from me eventually because I'm just customer service wise and customer relations and like it's just nah. Like it's simply unparalleled. It's literally not being caught. It's all I've ever done, just retail and customer service, and I know how to hone in on people and make them feel like they're special. Their needs are anticipated and wanted and taken care of. And guess what? It's all real. There's no fluff to my game. So, this guy's sitting on here doing this, doing that. And then I'm just like, all right. So I let him make another comment and then I fire something at him. And then he says something back. And it's just this back and forth at this point. And I'm just like, it makes everybody feel. Yeah, I've done this multiple times now, and people just get uncomfortable and they want to walk away and leave, and that's the last thing you want. People walking off the truck, like you want them on the truck so you can sell to them. So I just trade a few barbs here and there and hold my head high, and I conquered that one. Now it's not a huge deal to me because I know I'm gonna continue to show up every week. I'm gonna continue to provide the service I do, and he's gonna be back on there. But I'm gonna continue to throw out shit if he throws it at me, and can't stand the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen. And this is Freddy's kitchen, so bark, bark, scrap, scrap. Other than that, I'm kind of be all over the place, but documentary I watched a couple weeks ago on Netflix, Escaping Twin Flames, I believe it's called. If you guys haven't watched this one yet, it's certainly worth listening. Oh, by the way, new gaming chair, bought it at Costco. Can you just you can just tell the difference. I'm spunkier. The chair really brings something to the game, Sitting on that little tiny ass chair I had before, it really put my keister in a really compromising position there where there's just not really much room to wiggle. There's no headrest. Like now I can just float freely and enjoy it. So where were we? Escaping Twin Flames. Essentially, it's a documentary I easily could have been in, guys. It's no, I'm just kidding. It's pretty much these two weirdos that create this thing called like finding your twin flame, and they pretty much like have classes, and it's just a straight up cult. There's just no dancing around it. It's a cult, and what they do is you pay them, you take classes, and they pretty much guarantee your money back that you're gonna find your twin flame, your soulmate, the love of your life. You guys got to watch a documentary and text me and let me know what you think of that because I was kind of entertained, kind of sad about it when I was watching it. You know, there's a point where they're turning fucking people into trans and making them change their gender, telling them that you're the male of this relationship, even though if they're I mean, it's wild. They got them on diet plans where they're gaining all this weight. So I have a near and dear relative of mine who's got some cult like tendencies, if you will, and let's just say I'm happy he didn't have to escape the twin flames, right? Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a good one. Your boy was kind of riddled with some anxiety because pretty much the day of, my mom tells me that she wants me smoking the turkey. So the night before, the neighbors had come over, Mr. Mark, and he had spatchcocked our turkey. And thank God, because I would never do that. I'm like, I love eating chicken and I like poultry and stuff, but like the bird itself and the internals, I'm fucking grossed out by like pork and beef. Like I could way more, but chickens are just something about them, guys. And it's well documented my fear of bugs and animalia, so we're not surprised, are we? But should I made this? Oh wow, I didn't even know what that said. So yeah, the turkey was definitely a little nerve wracking because I've never cooked turkey at all, never smoked turkey, never done anything with the turkey, and when I do something like that, I like to have like either me and just my parents or just me so I can do a test drive, try it out, make it. I only have it. I only judge it, not a lot of a burden to be attached. But no, we had some heads over and I had some burden to say the least. And I wanted to put the bird on at a certain time. My mom had told me, well, it'll be done too early. So long story short, it's getting, 4:30, and it's just we're not happy. And I'm just like, you got the electric, the Bluetooth meter, wireless meat thermometer you stick in there and you can gauge it on your phone how many degrees it's at and how far away it's estimated from being done. So I'm like panicking just because everybody's like standing in the kitchen, gathering around, circling, pacing. It's making me like stress the fuck out. So I just go and take a humongous dab and just try to call my sister Jill and just relax and de-stress. Turkey ended up coming out fantastically, guys. So it was a giant relief for your boy, and it was great. So yeah, we got a lot of the Christmas shopping done today. And a little side note on that, I had a customer today texting me, "Hey, anyway, I can skip the payment this week. Christmas is around the corner." And I was like, "Oh, did they move Christmas this year? What is it usually? Like, how many years are you gonna be alive?" And I'm like, text someone. So I stood up for what was right, guys, and I let him push his credit payment back because fuck it, it's your credit account. You can double that up later in the month. But the truck account, the one that I get paid on, we ain't skipping. No Christmas gifts for your kids this year. I don't give a fuck. I'm just kidding. Just I tell these guys I'm trying to teach them, and I'm no one to speak. I have a security net that most don't, living with my parents. But let's be honest here. I still have bills. I still have insurance. I still have a lot of things to pay for, and I budget my money to make sure I can pay for the things that I owe money for. The amount of jokers out there that just buy these tools and they cannot afford them, and they're just it's a constant hunt, guys. I mean, I wish I could wear a little GoPro some days and just give you a little peek into the life of the bank accounts, the lunches, the just some of the stuff you see, the stories. It's incredible. But yeah, I totally lost my train of thought there. What I will say is a couple weeks ago was a giant revelation in my life. In my 32 years of existence, I've been led to believe, and I'm not going to say brainwashed because it comes from a good place, but my parents had always put it in our head that fast food is bad. And I'm like, what? I'm just like, they always had thought Wendy's, yeah, we'll give you guys Wendy's once in a while. Chick-fil-A, when we discovered that a little bit later on, it was a late discovery, but that was like, yeah, no, that's fine. Burger King and McDonald's and Taco, like my parents always hated it. They always had it in our head that like you cannot eat McDonald's. It's the worst thing in the world, blah, blah, blah. So naturally, I was always been a little bit more preferential to Wendy's. Um, I don't know if anybody in Florida tries to go to a Wendy's down here, what it is. There are three different Wendy's. I've lived here for like 6, 7 years at this point, and there are three different Wendy's I've tried to go to. Um, I truly cannot tell you the last time I was able to successfully get a order from a Wendy's drive-through and like have it in my possession and eat it and have it paid for and enjoy it. There's been 3 to 4 times where I was in my car and I pull into a Wendy's drive-through, and sometimes there's 2 cars in front of me and it takes me literally 25 minutes to get to the window. And then when I order, like it was 10 or 15 minutes from there. Like, no. So the most recent time, you see the fucking commercial for the pumpkin frosty, and you're like, oh, I want to try that. It's pumpkin season. So I go, and there's just like right away, I get, obviously you wait 3, 4 cars to get up, and I'm like, okay, it's busy. They must be moving. That if they're busy, but they're turning it around, like, no problem. I just wanted like a junior bacon cheeseburger, fries, and a frosty, like just a simple little or bacon. I don't know, something. But I remember like it was back to back custom, like 2 people in front of me, and the one lady that's first in line was screaming at the cashier, getting an argument with them. And then she turned around and started screaming at the lady behind her. And then the lady behind started yelling at her. Like it was just this whole scene. This was like after 20 some minutes of me waiting. The lady who's trying to pay still doesn't have her food. They're telling her to move up and wait longer. So she's fucking irate. I just see this shit and I'm like, can I fuck? I just pull out and I leave after I put my order in. But I'm like, dude, you can't get a decent, timely order at Wendy's here. There's something about it. So if you know a good Wendy's location, I still want to give them a whirl and try it out. But leads me to my next point. I tried my first Big Mac of my life ever. Okay. I mean, crazy. Like the most popular hamburger in the world, probably, and went my whole life without eating one. And maybe I committed a sin and did some shameful stuff with it. As far as I didn't know it was 3 buns, and I'm not like we're good. So I took a spatula on the middle bun that has all this Big Mac sauce, I guess, on it, and I just spatulaed that all into each like part of the burger, and then the other top of the other bun, and threw that bun out and just ate it. And guys, it was fantastic. Just incredible. I'm a huge fan of Five Guys. I think they are on the Mount Rushmore as far as the burgers I've had, and I don't know. I think it's fantastic. My mom's like, it's too expensive, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'll admit it's expensive when you get a Big Mac for half the price and you try it. Not bad. Uh, to show you how dumb I am, like I said, hey, can I have a Big Mac with no tomato? And she's like, well, there's no tomato on a Big Mac. And I was like, right, yeah, no problem. So it was a memorable experience, and I'm counting down the days till I have my next one. For my video game players out there, I'm just curious. It's well documented. I got the chair. Bought the Xbox, the newer Xbox, the newer in quotes, but I waited like a year to get it. But finally got it. Started once I got the chair, started playing some video games. Bought Hogwarts on the Black Friday. I haven't really played that much yet, but Call of Duty came out. Obviously, story mode was fantastic, but the Warzone, obviously, and the zombies are always a big talking point. So zombies is something I've been playing for since it came out. Every pretty much every single map that's ever been created, almost I've played them all. I've done some really special things with a couple friends of mine and my brother. We've gone to places that you can only dream of or see on the internet, guys, and it's just something we made a reality. What can I say? So it's a completely different take on zombies now. It's an open world concept where you go around, you loot, similar to Warzone, you get your supplies, you trade stuff in. Cool, cool, cool. A big issue and a point of contention amongst my inner circle is the time limit. So you get, I believe it's 60 minutes, maybe 45. So you get a countdowns to where you're essentially looting up, supplying yourself, getting your weaponry, and doing all that. And then the last 15 minutes after that timer comes up is like where you fight. Well, the zombies I'm used to, you just keep playing rounds, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, so on and so forth. And as they go on, they get harder, they get longer, there's more enemies, they have more armor, so they're harder to kill. This one, you have 3 different zones: zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. You go to zone 1, it's pretty easy, light armor guy. Like 2 is very difficult, 3 is insane. I've only dabbled and dipped my toes in the the realm of Zone 3, but I'll tell you what, guys, it's been a little hairy. I've grown to really enjoy it. You know, you build up your loadouts, you extract stuff. If you gotta get out and get an exfil before the map gets swallowed up in gas and you run out of time, which I've had a couple bad moments of getting stuck in there, but it's been really fun. Gonna keep trying to hammer away at that story and get all those missions done, and just keep hammering, guys. It's been a real journey. So I had a little another work note, but we just did some work stuff in there, so I'm like I'm pretty good on that right now. I'll do a couple of my little last notes, and then we'll go into the social media videos, which current events and videos. We always got to do those. Mainly featuring the dinks this week. It's a new trend I've noticed, and I wanted to bring it to you guys and talk about it and get your thoughts on it. But John Rahm, for my fans out there, major star on the PGA Tour, number 3 ranked player in the world according to the OWGR, the official the official world golf rankings. Masters champion last year, just an incredible player, big time following, big fan base. He's going to live golf, guys. Now this is gonna age well for your boy because I've been a big fan of live since its inception, and you get a lot of people. Oh, the Saudis are killing golf, but what's so bad about it? What's bad about competition? They're gonna make more money. You know, right now you're seeing the PFL and buying out Bellator and trying to compete with the UFC. There's no chance, but it's good for the business, isn't it? The industry, like you got more fighters getting paid better now and have another option to leave. I'm not saying I would want to leave the UFC, but if you have a chance to make a little bit more money and fight, in this case, like fight a little less quality of an opponent, and in Liv's case, like you're taking John Rahm's taking $500 million to go play against. Now, last year you could have said it's such an easier field. Now, the PGA field is obviously way deeper than Live, but if you look at like the top 10 in each of them, I mean, we got a real argument now, don't we? I mean, just off the top of my head, Liv's got Cam Smith, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau, Taylor Gooch, Phil Mickelson, John Rahm. Uh, oh my God, Joaquin. They have a lot of good young players out there, and I'm telling you, I think we're going to continue to see this shift of. I've been hearing rumors of Jason Day going over there. That would be another big addition, and yeah. So the golf landscape is changing, guys, and I'm excited to see it. And Dustin Johnson, if I didn't mention him, I'm sure I did. Uh, Patrick Reed, Pat Perez. I mean, Liv's got some, and then PGA obviously Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, who's overrated as fuck, Jordan Spieth, Tiger Woods. That new young kid. I haven't watched golf for obviously because it's not on right now. Tony Finau. That new young Canadian. I'm drawing a blank on. Whatever. You get my point. So having that happen was pretty monumental. I mean, that's arguably the biggest name that's gone over there yet. So stay tuned. Let's see what else is going to happen. The college football playoffs have been a hot topic recently. Georgia obviously was like 29 games in a row. They won, got to the SEC championship, were 12 or 13-0, and then lost to Alabama. And they were number 1 all year, and now they get eliminated from contention, which is pretty wild. And then Florida State wasn't eligible to make. Well, they were eligible to make it, but they weren't picked, or whatever you want to say. A lot of controversy around that. I get it. Undefeated team did everything they had to do, but there's a committee for a reason. And Florida State lost Jordan Travis, their star quarterback, and you hear all these pundits saying it, and it's truth. Like they don't want happening. What happened to TCU last year happened, or was it 2 years ago? I don't remember. But TCU got in and they just got smoked, and it wasn't fun. Like they're trying to pick the 4 best teams. Now, did they do that? I don't know. I mean, let's you gotta say. I mean, that Georgia is one of the 4 best teams, right? I mean, off the top of my head, what was it? It's Alabama, Texas, Blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna look it up because I can't think of it right now for some stupid reason. Um, he. It might take a second, guys, but you know what? We got to get this because this is definitely something I wanted to talk about. The bowls. And yeah, Alabama and Texas played head to head, and Alabama lost to them. So some people were bitching about that, but I mean, you beat Georgia. You can't not have an SEC team in the playoffs, right? Michigan, duh. So Michigan and Alabama are playing, and Texas and Washington. So Michael Penix, McCarthy, Alabama's got that Milrow, I think his name. He's had a great year, and then Texas has that kid, Ewers. So I watched a little reveal video when they did Michigan, like they were announcing who Michigan was going to play, and they thought they were going to get Florida State with the backup quarterback. And when they found out they got Alabama, it was just like a collective like groan, and that tells you all you need to know right there. If they want to play them less, and their reaction would have been the same thing with Georgia. I mean, if it was Georgia, as opposed to being Florida State. So I think they got it right. I don't know. Alabama, Michigan's going to be fun. Texas and Washington's going to be fun. Sure. It's Georgia, tough break. Florida State, tough break. But when you have four teams, someone's gonna get their feelings hurt. At least one team. So yeah, that sucks. Um, in other news, should have done this in my earlier video game segment, but what are you gonna do? Grand Theft Auto, guys, finally announced coming out in 2025. So that's a 12-year gap between video games. That seems to be a bit excessive if you ask me. I mean, I was playing that game like, I don't know, junior year of fucking high school, and now I'm an old fucking dinosaur rotting away in my parents' basement. Just kidding, it's a one-story house. Um there was some little thing I wanted to see where it was like showing the time lapse between GTA and this one and all this happened in the world. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find it, but what are you going to do? Am I going to get the game? Sure. They waited entirely too long to release another one. They should have had it like by the time the launch for the new console was ready. I mean, 2013 to 2025. Pretty fucking dope, huh? Um, guess the last thing I'll do is just a quick little couple minutes on football and NFL and the state of the league at the moment. Where do we go, guys? Okay, so the Eagles are in the midst of, you can say what you want on being a homer or whatever. It's one of the hardest regular season stretches that any team of my modern memory's gone through. Um, I mean, just a gauntlet, and we're gonna lose eventually, right? We already had a loss to the Zach Wilson led Jets, but San Francisco was coming to town. It's a pretty heated rivalry at this point. I'll be honest. I got a lot of hate for them. I'll be honest with you. Cowboys are pretty much like their own category, but the 49ers, for some reason, they're under every fiber of my being right now. And I openly admitted before the game, I thought they were the better team going in. I thought they would probably pull it off. Now, if you told me would I take a 2-0 series against Dallas for the season, would I take a loss to San Francisco in the regular season? Like, I'm going to pick the Dallas 2 wins. Like, I want that because now I just feel if and when San Francisco and Philly have to play again in the playoffs, they got us back, great. But I'm still gonna have to ride with the birds in the playoffs. I mean, it's the proven team. They've done it before, and we're gonna see. But nothing but respect to the Niners. They came out, they had an amazing game plan. They did whatever they wanted to our defense. They stopped our running attempts early and often and just made us completely go away with that. I read something today about how the Eagles only ran the ball 9 times in that game, but each loss was either stopped at the line or a loss. So it's like, do you keep running that at that point? But if you claim your quarterback's hurt, and we can all see he's hurt, and you continue to draw up these quarterback sneaks, and you're putting him at jeopardy, like there's got to be some kind of middle ground here. Now, I don't know Sean Desai's getting ripped on defense, whatever. Maybe he doesn't have the personnel. The Eagles continue to load up on the defensive line and pass rushing, but they continue to neglect the linebackers. I mean, can you name like our last amazing linebacker? Now we had this Alex Singleton who they let go, who's having a great year, and they've had a Kaiser White, I think was good. They let him go. So it's just something they do not want to put money in. And I think it's rearing its ugly head this year, and it's not fun watching our defense be on the field, especially that game against Buffalo when they're on the field for 90 some snaps and just getting fucking torched. Um, Brian Johnson's been a big topic of conversation this year, and he's calling the plays, but then there's reports that Sirianni's pretty much running the offense, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. But can we do something a little more imaginative than quarterback draws and fucking bubble screens? I mean, easy for me to sit at home and say this, but it's got a whole different vibe. And I heard Sheil Kapadia, who was just an awesome he like a Filio radio guy who does a podcast, and he was talking about how it's the perfect season for Eagles fans because we have an amazing record. We can go on and bitch about our team and say all this stuff, but the minute other fans talk shit about our team, we can get super defensive, and it's the truest thing I've ever heard. It's like if you had a if you were a fly on the wall watching me and my dad watch an Eagles game, you wouldn't even believe what comes out. Mainly his mouth, I'll be honest. It's mainly him. Like sometimes if a team scores a touchdown in the first quarter, but they're done. Like he's end of the world, and I try to be a little bit more positive, but the pessimism combined can get a little hairy and squirrely. So it's been a fun season, but it's frustrating, and having the record be what it is kind of surprising after watching the games. But then you watch the whole league, and I want to shout out Detroit. My boy Jeremiah, his team is crushing it right now. They've been hot. Their defense is extremely questionable, and they had a pretty bad loss on Thanksgiving Day, but that's aging a little bit better over time. The Packers are looking better and better. Jordan Love's kind of coming out of a shell a little bit. So um it's going to be an interesting end of the season, I'll tell you that. I still think you got to pick the Eagles in the NFC to make it, but it's going to be up to them and see what kind of game they're going to have, what kind of plan, and we're going to find out, guys. So NFC, I still think the Eagles are going to find a way to get the 1 seed and have home field advantage, and that's going to be huge. AFC, there's some Miami talk, there's some Baltimore talk. I think the Kansas City talk is that's we can chill out on that for a minute. Kansas City and Buffalo are playing this weekend. That's going to be a very big game. Buffalo continues to look like they're done and they're out of it, but then everyone else loses, so they're still alive by default. Um, I don't even know who I'd pick in the AFC, honestly. Baltimore, I don't know. But go Birds, that's all I'm gonna say. So we're gonna go over to our little current events and finish it out. First one I saw, guys. We're doing the old share screen here for our viewers. Survey of 1,000 men revealed they spend around 7 hours annually in the bathroom. That what? 7 hours in the bathroom? Bro, I'm like in the bathroom for like an hour a fucking day here. Now I know that we've probably got a degenerative gut or something going on, but my lord, I think this is just like 7 extra hours of hiding on top of the time they spend in the bathroom. Let's finish reading. Pebble Gray's research sounds like fake news. Commissioned to explore bathroom habits, highlighted chore avoidance, and I cannot read today, and uninterrupted phone time as motivations. So essentially, men are trying to be on their phone without being interrupted and avoiding chores. On average, 1 in 10 bathroom visits gets interrupted, totaling 171 disruptions per year. Uh, why did I cover that? I don't know. Sometimes you see things and you're like, "Oh, this looks good," and then you start reading and you're like, "What the fuck was I thinking?" We're gonna chalk that one up to that, guys, and we're gonna go ahead and delete that. And this is the thing I've gotten furious about, and this is good because what this is going to do right now is it's going to allow me to go on my phone and make some notes for Caesar, who's going to help me out. And I'm going to say sharing IG videos, quality of audio and video. Because this is something we've been doing, and I just come on here. I like having fun doing current events, but I want to get to the point where it's really well done, and you can share the screen and have cool graphics and stuff going on. And we're gonna get there, guys. We just need a little Sherpa to guide me, and I think we finally found a little Latin Sherpa that's gonna guide me the way. So this next one, dessert stomach is real. The stomach expands on contact with sugar, making room for dessert even when you're feeling full. Yeah, my dad's notorious for this. He's finishes dinner, says he's full, and then just grabs like ice cream. So he's not alone. This is just a Black Friday video, some bullshit. Anybody fighting? Nobody getting robbed or beat up? We're not interested. New study. Attention, Taylor. New study reveals smoking one disposable vape is equivalent to smoking 20 cigarettes. Let that sink in, guys, for all you vapors out there. Just take a minute and think about it. I hope you thought long and hard about it. I want to shout out my sister's Delaware Blue Hens, her alma mater. They're becoming the first FCS school to pay the FBS application fee. So they paid $5 million to join the FCS. So money well spent. They're going to make it back. It's a huge investment for them, and I'm sure it's going to pay off quite well. I remember back in the day when Jilly was attending University of Delaware, and the family and I went to go up and visit her on family weekend or whatever, and a little old man by the name of Joe Flacco was starting for that team, and we got to watch old Joey Flax at University of Delaware playing future Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. That was pretty cool. Not been to many college games. That's probably on the very short list of my attending college games. Machine Gun Kelly, he's getting made fun of because he ditched Machine Gun, or he ditched Gun Kelly, and now he's just known as Machine. So good luck to him. Hopefully that works out for him. We don't need to do that one, do we? Research said, okay, guys. So there's some hope in the world of me here. That there's a chance that somebody out there is with their partner right now, but they're dreaming of me as their backup. According to research, over 50% of women have a backup partner in mind. Now, today I was talking to two good buddies of mine at work, and they started talking about like Christmas gifts and this and that. And oh, this girl came in the other day and she was talking about getting a Snap-on shirt, blah, blah, blah. And they knew her from Hooters and that. And then they mentioned something about me and her. And I was like, what? And I was like, I wouldn't date a girl at Hooters, blah, blah, blah. Not the kind of burner you bring home to mom. And they're like, no, she's going to nursing school. So it's just another thing of me being judgmental and judging a book. But don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, so there's this published a study published said that 1,000 women revealed that 50% admitted to having a fallback partner, such as a gym buddy or ex-boyfriend. Surprisingly, 1 in 10 women disclosed that their planning had already professed love. Do I want to meet a beautiful woman and partner up? Sure, but you got to worry about this shit. And the way I take things, I don't deal with emotions extremely well. I'm just a very sensitive person, and it'd be tough. So it's scary. 21-year-old in Connecticut, Jesus Christ, Connecticut was found growing $8.5 million worth of psychedelic mushrooms. This is my kind of guy in his home after a tipster told authorities he was allegedly running a mushroom factory in the abode. Some people just can't mind their business here. If it's meth or heroin or something, I get it. Mushrooms, come on, man. You know how much skill this takes and how much patience, and whoever snitch was hating on dude. Yeah, for real. Like, this guy, look at that. It's a shame, buddy. I hope you bounce back. 21 years old. That's not a great crime to have under your belt, but we're going to get through this, my brother. According to experts, having at least one lazy day per week can help reduce stress, high blood pressure, and improve our well-being. There weekends where I feel like a total piece of shit and a loser because no matter what I do Saturday, I'm like, okay, well now we have Sunday. When it's not football season, I'll admit I'll do some things here to get some stuff done and feel a little bit more accomplished as a human. But when it's Sunday during football season, guys, it is not a good look for your boy. I mean, we're literally from 12:50 in the afternoon till, I mean, let's be real, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then I fall asleep unless it's a weekend like the one coming up where the Birds are playing Sunday night football. It's just 9 hours of laying around, eating food, smoking weed, and not moving. And looks like the study's kind of bailing me out, So feeling pretty good about this one. So what exactly is a lazy day? This essentially means not to do anything that is on your to-do list. Not checking work-related emails, check. Not responding to work calls, check. Being in your pajamas all day, check. Taking a nap, essentially, check. Doing things that you really like. Smoking weed, watching football, eating food, check, check, check. Eating good food without worrying about calories and enjoying all the simple pleasures of life. Check, 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 check. So my little thing I do is I just wake up and do like a 30 or 45-minute Peloton ride, burn all these calories, sweat like a damn animal. And I'm like, I'm a fucking beast. 6:30 on a Sunday, I'm doing a Peloton ride. And then I proceed to go and eat like 4,000 calories on that Sunday. So just want to shout out puberty and thank you guys for this article or this little thing. It made me feel really good about myself. This is a fun one, but this is just showing the top 20 slang words used by, the teens or the younger generation in 2023. I'm just going to say all 20 and I'll give you an idea of how many I know. Sus, bet, yeet, salty, cap, extra, bussin', bougie, sheesh, drip, oof, finna, shook, simp, mid, hold this L, IYK, YK, NPC, vibe check, stand. Pretty sure I know every single one of those guys, and I credit my young little wankster customers who literally one guy I deal with, every other word out of his mouth is one of these words. I'm not even kidding. NPC, he said. Hold as though, he said. Mid, simp. This is so I just thought this was a cool list. I don't use a lot of these, but I still think they're cool. No more snow days. School district replaces wintry days off with online classes. And this guy commented, "We got out of school at the right time, ladies and gentlemen." And my God, is that a fact? Um, I mean, what was better than growing up in New Jersey and having a snow day and calling your friends and coordinating what time you're going to meet up and go sled together, whatever you want to call it. We would have like little saucers and sleds, and we had this place in the neighborhood called the Hill where we would all congregate. We would usually meet up at my house or the Lembo's house, most likely the Lembo's because it's on the way to said pit. And we would just, guys, it was some of the highlights of my childhood. You just you get snow and it's just like it was a big circular like dome that was just what's the word, concave, maybe, perhaps, where it was just all down, so it was just slopes going downward. And we would get on these little things and build ramps and just go wild. A legendary fight took place here. Me, Matty Dolan, and my brother Kurt had taken on a family of three, the Diorenzo brothers, and just an epic fight. 1v1, like three separate 1v1s. Maddie took on Chris, the older brother. I took on Mark, and Kurt unfortunately had to take on Matt, who was basically a toddler, let's be honest. And Kurt has always been a muscle bound animal. And to say this was an unfair matchup would be the understatement of the century. But let's just say one squad went 3-0 that day and the other one went 0-3. And I'm not going to mention who was who, but yeah, the pit was a legendary place. And I'm really hoping the Vespi brothers are listening to this and can just hear that and giggle and laugh and think of Nemo and getting thrown against a tree and all these other sorry, going on a little bit of a tangent there, but it's just some fun times reflecting on. So, my point is, we get called out of school and go meet up with everyone in the neighborhood in one spot and everyone's out there sledding, doing fun shit. And then we all go hot chocolate and do bullshit afterwards. And now these poor kids are fucking sitting online doing Zoom while we were beating the fuck out of each other and sledding. So, okay, this one was maybe one of the saddest stories I've ever seen in my life. There's this guy here. He's a super fan, I guess, of Ruby Rose, who I never heard of. I'm guessing she's a rapper or maybe an OnlyFans star. This caption here for the listeners is Ruby Rose reveals her top OnlyFans user who has spent over $90,000 on her just got his face tattooed on her leg. Um, you could just look at this guy. His shirt says, "If I die, delete browser history." I mean, you can look at his face, his makeup, his body language. Uh, this Brandon weird OF fan. Okay, you know what, guys? We're actually gonna have to pause these and read these because I didn't even realize this when I did this. So he spends $90,000 on her OnlyFans, got a tattoo of her on her leg, which I mean, it looks like good work, but that doesn't look like the girl he was just posing with. So he goes on to text message this girl, who's like a famous rapper or porn star. I don't know what the fuck she is. Baby, please answer me, my queen. Please don't leave me. I adore you, Ruby. You are all I need to be whole in life. I will never leave you or even look in the same direction of another girl. I want to marry you. I even spent $30,000 more on you since we met because I thought we had something genuine and real. I will empty my bank account just to be with you. I'll travel across the country just to randomly run into you again. I will never be over you. You are the. Oh my God. You are the love of my life, my perfect little princess. You are stunning. You are my breath of fresh air in a world that is so dark and so cold. You are the sun to my thunderstorm, the spurt of luck in my day, the pot of lucky gold at the end of the rainbow. You are my everything in this life, and I wish nothing more to spend the rest of my this life with you. I can spend all of my money and be homeless just to wake up every day knowing that you are happy. I can watch you have sexual actions with other men just to pleasure your sexual needs. I can be your sissy boy and let you boss me around while I do whatever you demand of me in my sissy maid outfit. Holy shit. Oh my God. I will do anything at any cost just to make you happy and just to be in the same room that you are breathing in. I have an obsession with you since the day I first saw you on Instagram. Ever since that day, I've made it my life mission to one day have the chance to see you every day, watching your stories, seeing your amazing life and vibrant, glowing smile as you travel the world. While I smile from my screen, that a true traveler and explorer like ourselves needs a partner for every journey. I know that I am that perfect partner to you, my queen. I know that I can be there for you whenever you need, whenever you are sick, whenever you are sad, whenever you are mad. I will stop at nothing to ensure that you live in a stress-free world of princess treatment. There's more, guys. Don't worry. I know that I will never get over you, Ruby. I sit here pouring my heart out, showing you how madly in love I am with you. I am sorry for my temper early. Oh God, I just felt like I was so close to my life finally be complete and that we would finally be something real. Is anyone else just sad? Not just my imagination and a lubricated plastic fake version of you on the side of my bed. Oh my God. I thought that my life was finally to be complete and that I could finally love you. I need you. I don't think I could live without you. I don't want to live without you. This guy's gonna fucking kill himself. You are the final piece to my puzzle. You are the only thing I need to make my life complete. All right, you know what? I need to like copy and paste this and send this to someone on Bumble. I will send you 10 Bitcoin right now if you answer me. That is worth almost $400,000. All you have to do is respond to me with one word, Ruby. Please, I need your attention. I need to make sure that my kitten is safe. Then he sent her. Oh, fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Now I got to go back. This is just incredible. I can't believe I didn't notice this. Wait a tick. Crypto whale looking for a queen. That's his. Bro, I don't even think I can read all this. Oh my God. I've come this far, guys. We can't stop now. I will send you 10 Bitcoin. And then he sent her a picture of like the Bitcoin. Bitcoin is one of those investments I was talking with you about on OnlyFans when you were asking me what did I do to make so much money. I promise you it will be the best investment of our life. All you have to do is just react to one message of mine. Please, I beg you. I cannot think to live without you. This is incredible. I think of everything from the start like it was a Disney movie. Your good morning OnlyFans messages. You asked me to spoil you daily so that you could always get new nails and telling me how you like them afterwards, but being too shy to show me. The chemistry our messages had despite only texting on our phones. I told you everything about me, the videos I had my relatives make at Thanksgiving, telling you we all wish you were there with us. Oh my God. I even told my parents about us. I am starstruck by you, flat out in love. I have never felt this way ever in my life about anyone. Okay, guys, so this is a random dude online who sent this girl like $90,000 on OnlyFans, and this is him just either DMing her or texting. It looks like texting her. I don't know how he has her number, but I mean, I guess if you spend $98,000, you deserve her phone number. I've never felt this way about anyone in my life ever. I even told you about all the times in high school that I got made fun of by everyone and humiliated. Oh, this is so sad. I will always love you. Nothing you can ever say to me will ever change my mind. You are all I will ever need to be happy, my beautiful rose. Kitten, sad face, are you there? My messages say you read them, but it could be a glitch like last time when you said you read it for like 4 days and you said you didn't. Oh my God. Sending pictures of the tattoo. I have a surprise to show you, my commitment. I know you will love it. It's almost done. I can't wait to show you. Surprise. What do you think? It took almost 3 hours. So there's that, guys. Anytime you're feeling down in the dumps, make sure you go back and listen to this episode of Verbal Garbage and just listen to that interaction again. I pray for that guy. Gen Z singles are lusting after gentle, affectionate bachelors. Me, that'll be them golden retriever, man. Cool. This survey finds that 20% of men wear the same underwear for a week. I don't know a single man like that, and I know a lot of men. I don't believe that survey. Perhaps I've been. All right, so let's get to it, guys. This is the last thing I want to cover before the day is done, and there's this really new weird trend that's going on. I'm noticing it, and I don't like what I'm seeing. Um, and we can discuss why afterwards. But this trend is making me feel ill and queasy, and I know when I play audio like this, it sometimes doesn't work out as well as we like it to, but just bear with me here, okay?
We're geeks. We're gonna get asked daily when we plan on having kids.
We're dinks. Of course, we're gonna go out to eat every night after work.
So, for those of you who are listening, the audio is not great. These two people are bragging about being dinks, DINKS. Did not know what this meant. Dual income, no kids. Cool, great. I will never judge anyone for not wanting kids, but to come on here and start like bragging and making these gay ass TikToks about like we have money because we don't have kids. Just watch.
We're geeks. You don't have to ask our family for financial help or to watch our kid when we want to go out.
We're dinks.
Oh, you don't have to ask your family to watch your kid when you go out. Like grandma and grandpa are going to be so devastated that they got to watch their new grandbaby, right? Yeah.
We're gonna go to Costco and buy all the snacks in bulk that we want.
We're geeks. We have disposable income to spend on whatever we would like and don't have to spend on a kid.
We're dinks. I'm gonna go to every football game and play 18 holes whenever I want.
We're geeks. We're gonna get asked at every single family event what we're doing with our life. We're geeks. We're gonna get asked daily when we.
So I don't know how much you guys heard of that, but it's essentially a husband and a wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend or fiancés, whatever, that are just going back and forth bragging about the luxuries of not having kids. And which, listen, I understand it's cool. Like, if you don't want to have kids, that there's no problem. But to make a video like this, like bragging about it and how you have disposable income and we don't need to worry about spending money on kids. And I can go to any football game and play 18 holes of golf whenever I want because I don't have a kid. Dude, fucking sweet, man. Uh, I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. I thought it's kind of a weird thing, and it's not the only video I've seen. I've seen a couple of these so far, and a very strange trend that I can't quite put my finger on. I don't know what there is to potentially brag about that you have more money. Okay, that's great. So hopefully next time we're talking, get some feedback from our boy Caesar, and we'll we'll start to slowly improve on the studio setup here, the camera, the audio, the video, and just slow burn, guys, like I said. So thanks for joining me on the ride, and kind of keep getting back, try to get this weekly occurrence going, and verbal garbage out. Love you boys, love you girls, peace.